Alrighty. Here we are once again. How everybody doing? Welcome to the buffet. I am G, the seeker of truth. And this is Spiritual State. You see the Spiritual State hoodies? Yeah. Anyway, today we yes, your spirit is at stake. You gotta know that. You got to know that. You can't believe that. That's something that you got to know, right? All right. We are going through our Bible breakdown. We are still in Genesis. We are on chapter 14. And y'all know how I do it. If you're gonna blaze one, let's blaze. Y'all know before I go to the buffets, I be blowing. I ain't gonna care. Cause I be ready to go in. I'm finna try to go in there with them munchies and serve something, you hear me? So anyway, if you're gonna fire up, go on fire up. Yeah, y'all know how I do. Without no further ado, let's go on and get into it. This is Genesis chapter 14. Now the overview of chapter 13, let's give an overview real quick. Abimelech came into a land, excuse me, and the spot that they had was not big enough for Abram and Lot, herdsmen, tried all they stocks and all they flocks they had and they tents. The land wasn't big enough for both of them. But instead of them warring with one another, they came to the agreement to separate. And they separated. Non-violent, non-confrontational. Abram said, it's not the whole land before us. So that's where we at. That's just the overview of that. So now chapter 14. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Erato, king of Elasar, Shadorla or Mer. That's a long. Hold on, let me figure how they say that. I can't even front like I'm gonna flip through that bad boy. I can't even wrestle with that junk. It's broke down so many different type of ways. Hold on. We finna look and see how we can pronounce that properly. And then ain't no sense in trying to use the microphone to say it because I can't even say it to put it in the thing. They don't know what they gonna say it at. I gotta go through a whole lot just to hear this name pronounced. Maybe I can go right here. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this name. Look at this.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name, as well as how to say more interesting biblical names.
Shout out to Julian Miguel too.
Of a king of Elam in Genesis 14. How do you go about pronouncing it? Kedorlaomer. Once you know Kedorlaomer. You know. Videos on how to pronounce more useful biblical names.
Yeah, once again, shout out to Julian Miguel. Kedorlaomer. king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations. Verse 2, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Sheamber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, which is Zorah. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Chedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. Now, they served for 12 years, and in the 13th year they rebelled. These is Bera and Bersha and Shinab, Sheamber, and Zorah. And in the 14th year came Chedorlaomer and the kings that were with him, and smote the Raphians in Asherah, Carnium, and the Zuzims in Ham, and the Emins in Shavai, Kirkathaim, and the Horites in their Mount Seir unto El Pared, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to Emishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelled in Hezron Tamar. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboam, and the king of Bela, the same is Zoar. And they joined battle with them in the vale of Siddim, with Chedorlaomer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arachit, king of Elasar. 4 kings with 5. So they got 4 kings going against 5 kings because they tired of serving. They served for 12 years. In the 13th year, they said, we ain't taking it no more. So they fought. 12 years slave. And the valley of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram that the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Merom, and the Amorite, brother of Eshol, and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. What that mean, confederate? We finna figure this out. Hold on. Word confederate. Word confederate. That ain't what I'm talking about. They just do confederate. Yeah, how about that? Okay, Confederate can refer to, this is the AI overview. Confederate can refer to the Confederate States of America during the American Civil War. Hold on. Or to a person or group that is allied with one another. So, Eshol and brother of Adner, they were aligned with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High. Melchizedek was the priest of the Most High. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which has delivered thy enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, Give me the persons and take the goods to thyself. I'm going to look up this tithes right here. Because it say that Melchizedek say he gave him tithes of all. I'm trying to see what that means in that context. They say it's 1/10 of annual produce or earning, formerly taken as a tax for the support of the church. Excuse me. Now, time out. This thing just said, tithes, listen. Say 1/10 of annual produce or earnings, formerly taken as a tax for the support of the church and clergy. So, unless I'm tripping, they used to text you to go to church. That what that sound like? To me, it just said it right there. 1/10 of annual produce or earnings, formerly taken as a tax for the support of the church and the clergy. They was taxing folks to go to church. They were them people's job. That what it sound like. They come out like when you go to work. They come out like your taxes on your check. They take out taxes for going to church. Taking out taxes to go to church. And then turn around and say it was tithes. Tithes and offerings. Well, you taking already, and now you want us to offer something outside of what you already took because you taxing us. And now you want me to offer something else. I'm going to take this. Now, what do you have to give me? What? It don't make sense to me. But then again, you know, how they say, I be tripping. But that's wild. That's Genesis 14:20. I'm gonna read it again. And blessed be the Most High. This is Melchizedek. Melchizedek was a high priest. This is Melchizedek talking to Abram after Abram came back with Lot, and they didn't went over there and defeated and conquered. This is Abram coming back. This is Melchizedek talking to Abram. He's saying, Blessed be the Most High God, which has delivered thy enemies into thy hand, and he has gave him tithes of all. All right. Anyway, 21. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, Give me the persons and take the goods to thyself. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hands unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abram rich, save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion. Now, I don't I mean, Abraham made a covenant. I mean, he wasn't even Abraham at this time, excuse me. Abraham made a covenant with God. He told him that he wasn't going to take nothing. Right? The Melchizedek say, you take all the goods. Give me the men, give me the persons. Let me get all the peoples. And you take all the goods. Abraham say, no, I already said I wasn't taking nothing. You can give unto the people that was with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. And you can give them their portion. But as for me, I've already made my covenant, right? So, my question would be, what would make you break your covenant? Right? If you say God, Most High, source of life, always was, always is, always will be. I want what you got for me. But I don't want what you got for me until it's time for you to give me what you have for me. What if that take forever? Well, I mean, not forever, but what if that take, in your mind frame, you thinking maybe a couple of months, a year. But what if it take longer than that? What if after 2 years? What if after 3 years? And then somebody come to you and say, yeah, you did that. So I'm going to let you can take this and let me just get that. Would you be able to say in that moment, nah, this ain't what God got for me. I did that because it had to be done. It was right to be done. It had to be. Right? The lesson is that I take from that is when you actually doing great works and you do good things, you don't always have to be physically rewarded for that. Because if everything that you do, if you do it with the ulterior motive or with the sole purpose of receiving something back, then what are you really doing it for? Anyway, that was Genesis chapter 14. Quick little overview of it. As once again, we stumbled over some names. But once again, like I always say, if you was following along with me, you got to them words. And when you heard how I said them, and you were like, nah, that ain't right. You said them how you wanted to say them. So, we going to keep going. We going to keep pushing. We going to stumble. We going to trip. We ain't going to fall. We ain't going to fail. We not going to quit. It's a lot more coming. We got a long way. I hope y'all enjoying the Bible readings. I really do. I try not to be too long, but I try not to be too just like right in your face. You know, I try to balance it out because like I see a lot of things in the word that a lot of other people don't see until like I point it out. And I'm not saying that like that just make me something great, but like at the same sense, like we can go through this whole thing together because if I can see something that you don't see, maybe you can see something that I don't see. You see what I'm saying? That's why we at this buffet. We putting everything up here. Ain't no big eyes and little U's. It's us. We gonna eat together. We gonna get fat. I'm G, the seeker of truth. Until next time, y'all stay elevated.